I teach editing. Things like accuracy and consistency and suspicion and imagination and fairness and general knowledge and saturation and the liberal arts and all that stuff. In back of it all is the language. And you're not going to get anywhere as a student or as an instructor, as a pro even, unless you are thoroughly immersed in this language, this beautiful bastard language of ours. And I don't think that ignorance is any basis for the progress of language. And language does progress. And you have to be a master of this language.
In his 30 years as a journalist, teacher of journalism, and newspaper consultant, John Bremner took this responsibility very seriously.
Do, a deer, a female deer, re, a drop of golden sun, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Where do we get that, by the way? You've been singing that since you learned it at your mother's knees. Or some other joint, I don't know, but you learned it. Why do we sing do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do? All music, ultimately, or Western music anyway, all Western music comes from the scale, the musical scale, the tonic solfa. And all language, all English language, comes from the 7 parts of speech. And one of the tricks in learning the language to become a master of the language is how to put these things together. That's what's called syntax.
These are the kinds of problems confronted daily in copy editing. John Bremner had a little test he used in his copy editing classes as a means of finding out what his students did and did not know.
So you can't teach this unless you know it. And one way of finding out how much you know about it is to give you a test. Volkswagen, I looked around, quite a few of you can't spell it. It's W-A-G-E-N. Put your modifiers close as possible to the word it modifies. Volkswagen is having trouble with only one of their T-H-E-I-R, not T-H-E-R-E, for heaven's sake, that's elementary. Stay awake. Of course it's it.
One of John Bremner's favorite teaching tools, and possibly his most entertaining one, was his cherished collection of headlines. More of them were examples of journalistic dimness, and a few were just plain mystifying.
Read your heads aloud. Act or accidentally shot in the butt. 4-H girl wins contest as best whore in county. Good advice. That's the filthiest head I've ever seen. Read the whole story before you write the headline. A little sexual battery.
After more than a third of a century spent nurturing the English language, John Bremner retired in 1986. He moved to an apartment in Florida overlooking the ocean. He died there of cancer. As long as the spirit of John Bremner is abroad among us, English may yet live, to be loved by future generations.